after a recent Supreme Court decision upholding protections for LGBTQ people in the workplace. The Great Falls City Commission is considering a new city ordinance that would place local protections in Great Falls. At a city commission meeting last week, supporters and opponents voiced their opinions for the ordinance. MTN's Zach Shermley has more.
I was told that if I came out, that I would lose my job.
I have been at a job in the past where, because of the management and the ownership of said business, I could not safely come out.
A city at odds. Great Falls has a troubled relationship with its LGBTQ population. In 2014, the city ranked among the 10 worst nationwide for LGBTQ rights. A 2019 report from the Human Rights Campaign again ranked Great Falls among the lowest in the state.
By the very nature of that, Great Falls is also a little bit behind the curve on some things.
But a ruling from the United States Supreme Court in June, barring discrimination based on sexual orientation, has cleared a path for progress in the Electric City as the City Commission considers new local protections for LGBTQ people.
I'm here today to formally request this commission consider and ultimately pass a non-discrimination ordinance, or NDO. In short, this NDO provides legal protection to assure that all community members have equal access to employment, housing, and public accommodations.
The ordinance was drafted by the Great Falls LGBTQ Center.
Tomorrow's your anniversary?
3 years.
What?
I know.
Whose members say this is personal.
We know of landlords who will absolutely not rent to members of the LGBTQI community. We know of places of employment that will do everything they can to not hire them or to get rid of them.
Supporters and opponents showed up to last week's meeting.
Several Montana cities have non-discrimination ordinances, and it is time that we make sure all citizens of Great Falls are not subject to discrimination.
We're going to have NDOs for every group that feels discriminated against.
No unkindness against the LGBTQ community is acceptable, and it should not be ignored. But it also seems to me that the only way this ordinance can help the people being discriminated against is by taking the religious liberty and freedom of expression away from another group of people.
City Commissioner Mary Sheehy Moe says she's consulting with the city attorney about the legality of the measure.
Will it create other problems? And so that's what we need to get the legal advice from the attorney on, and that's going to take some time.
As far as next steps,
the Commission will eventually put the ordinance on an agenda. When we reach the point that it is on the agenda, that's when we're going to be asking for community members and allies to come to that Commission meeting and speak in support of the ordinance. It's incredibly important that we show Great Falls that the majority of our community already believes in equality.
In Great Falls, Zach Shermley, MTN News.